Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. Well, it's time to talk about sport again. A lot of juicy sporting stories flying around in the world of sport. We'll be starting from the home scene. But before we do that, let's quickly talk about the guests in the studio. I'll be talking about sport for this hour. I have Joshua Adeyemi here. Good to have you, Joshua.
I'm happy to be here.
And also Ibrahim Yusuf. Let's talk sport, right?
Always nice to be here.
Good one there. Let's roll as we talk about 2022-2023 CAF. We have to start with the team Nigeria. All the 4 clubs that will be participating in the CAF Interclubs Nigeria representatives get decent draws. So looking at all the clubs that will be playing from Nigeria, we have 4 of them. Not forgetting the likes of Rivers United, Plateau United, you have Kwara United, and also Remo Stars. The 4 clubs will be representing Nigeria, both in the CAF Champions League and also CAF Confederation. Right now, Nigeria just have to accept the fact that the 4 of them must do well. Quickly, let's look at the draws that was made, the preliminary draw for the group stage, the stage rather, that have been set for all the 4 clubs that will be playing. Quickly, let's look at the 4 group stage there. We have the draws there anyway. Looking at the fact that as it is, the 4 of them are ready, are battle ready. They just have to play their games. Number 1, Rivers United will play their game. You have Plateau United, Kwara United, and also Remo Stars. Now, looking at the way it is, a lot of people are looking at the draw. Is it decent enough? Looking at the fact that, well, Nigerian teams, we know how they've been performing so far in the CAF Confederation, also in CAF Champions League. It's not really going well with our team. But this time around, do you think they can turn things around? Looking at what we have there, Rivers United will be facing Watanga FC of Liberia. If they win that game, they'll be facing with the Athletic Club of Morocco. Plateau United versus AS Stade Manji of Gabon. If they win, they'll be facing Experience Sportive de Tunis of Tunisia. Remo Stars versus AS Farah of Morocco. If they also win, they'll be facing either Ashanti Gold of Guinea or SCS Nouakchott of Mauritania. And you have Kwara United they'll be playing against Dunes of Niger Republic. If they are able to win against Dunes there, they will be facing RSB Bakani of Morocco. Well, can you call this decent draw? I'm only actually afraid for Remo Stars against AS FAR Morocco.
Well, you see, the thing is, when you talk football and you talk continental football now, and you're talking about continental club football, that's where the question of where does continental pedigree come in? When you look at the Nigerian representatives there, Rivers United, Plateau United, Remo Stars, Kwara United, these are not clubs that we can say are traditionally inclined to actually perform well when it comes to the CAF Champions League or the Confederations Cup, because they don't have a history in those clubs. Actually, when it comes to Remo Stars against FAR Morocco, I think Remo Stars they are an unknown quantity now when it comes to continental football, and they can be able to make it work depending on how they play and the mentality that they go in with. What I'm most scared of is for Rivers United and of course Plateau United, because when you look at the other side of the draw, if they do win their preliminary rounds and they go on to the next round, they'll either face Wydad of Morocco, that's for Rivers United, and Plateau United have an unenviable task of facing Esperance. I mean, these are 2 clubs that have serious continental pedigree when it comes to the African game on the African continent. So I think that is something that we should look out for. But for the other games, both of them are unknown quantities, and we just have to wait until those games are played. But for the first 2, I think if they get over the first hurdle, that's for Rivers United and Plateau United, the danger lies on the second hurdle, because Wydad and Esperance, we know what they have done on the continent, and we know what they can still do.
Now, Joshua, I agree with Ibrahim. I'm sure you're going to take on this because from the way it is, even from the first preliminary matches they'll be playing, it seems it's going to be a big one, especially for Remo Stars. Well, even because they'll be facing AS FAR of Morocco. And for Rivers Plateau United, well, you can say the first order will be easy, but it might not be as easy as we think. Watanga of Liberia, Manji of Gabon, and you look at that's Remo Stars facing AS FAR of Morocco, and you also look at Kwara United. Also, they will be playing their game against Niger Republic team.
Yeah, just as he said, the problem with Nigeria, most of our clubs, is that we lack this consistency in the continental, field. When you see that year after year we have different clubs qualifying to the continent, and they lack that pedigree. Just as he said, these ones, other clubs that are playing, they are big there. they've always been there. Some of them are even defending champions, So it's going to be a tough call for them, especially for Kwara United and Remo Stars. They are nowhere. They don't have the experience. No, what it takes to play in the continent is different from playing in the league. That's why you have clubs like Real Madrid doing well consistently in Europe. So I don't know. We have to hope, just the way we used to hope and pray, the way we know we are prayers, we are warriors. But looking at their pedigree, we know that it's a tough call.
It's a tough call, according to what you said, but at times, hope alone doesn't do this. We just have to plan ahead. With the way we run our league, just look at what happened concerning issue of Kwara United being picked because we refused to play our Federation Cup at the right time. Now, we have to pick one of the teams that didn't qualify for Confederation or Champions League that is standing number 4th on the log to represent us. We are still in the quarterfinals. If you have to wait, it means we won't have any slot. That number 4 slot will have been wasted. But we just hope that this time around, like you said, Rivers United against Watanga, from the way it sounds easy, but it might not just be easy because they too qualify from their country.
For Rivers United, they've been consistent in the past 2-3 seasons. They've been doing well, and of course, it's because of the management they put in place, and the government there in the state have been, supportive of the team, and. So when you notice, you see that they've been growing consistently on the league, and they've been doing well. So I hope they will do us proud.
Mm-hmm. One of the problems that we actually have when it comes to Nigerian football is, just like you mentioned, how we run our league and how we run our clubs. Most of our clubs, most of them are government owned. So you have a situation whereby if you have a governor that's actually invested in it, you'll find a situation whereby that team is doing very well. Just like the case of Enyimba back in the days. Enyimba had a governor that was seriously supporting them.
It was a sporting governor,
and he supported Enyimba to actually do the business, and they did the business when it comes to the domestic and of course the CAF Champions League. What happened when he left? Enyimba is nowhere to be found right now. You understand? So it's just the same thing. Rivers United could be doing very well right now because they have a governor that supports them, they have the structure and all that. But what happens when he goes? Somebody else comes in that doesn't have any interest whatsoever. And at the end of the day, you'll see them fighting for relegation. Look at our dear Pillars, what happened to them. You understand? Pillars, same as Gida, were fantastic over a couple of seasons ago, but now they're down in the doldrums.
Relegated. Well.
So that's exactly what happens. Unless we change that model, then we're really not going to get that level of consistency, because every year we see Esperance, we see Al Ahly, we see Wydad Casablanca, we see all those. They are constant, they are consistent because of how those clubs are run.
Well, we just believe that our team this time around, they should be able to turn things around. 4 of them, Plateau, Rivers, and also not forgetting Remo and Kwara United will be playing in the CAF Interclub competition that will be starting any moment from now. And from the way it is, they just have to up their game if they are to at least share against the North African clubs that they will be facing after the preliminary stage. It's going to be a tough one, but we believe that they can do it. All they need to do, every necessary thing they need to do, they just start from now. They don't need to wait, because if they blink, the North African country clubs are not giving up at all. From there, let's talk about the big lady of tennis, talking about Serena Williams, who has really done well for herself. She just hints at retirement after 2022 US Open, even though a lot of people already actually determined to be retired. Well, she has not retired. She only said that she's already thinking about it, and that should be after 2022 US Open. US Open started by 29th of this month, and it will be ended by September 11th. So it's so close, and this lady has really done well for herself since 1995 that she turns professional. She has amassed a lot. If you look at the record there, Serena Williams' record, the career win so far, you have 73 singles title, 23 Grand Slam. That particular Grand Slam title cost her, because she kept thinking about it until she gave up. She wanted to break the record of Margaret Court, but that record seems not to be broken. 7 Australia Opens, 3 Roland Garros trophies. You have 7 Wimbledon trophies, for 6 US Opens, and $94 million in prize money that she actually won for herself. Kudos to Serena. Right now, a lot of people are looking at, wow, this lady is going.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people talk about Serena, and they talk about the greatest female tennis player of all times. I look at Serena and I say the greatest tennis player, period. You understand? That is the kind of career that she has had.
Because in fact, she even won more than the men.
Exactly. Over the years, she has proven to be consistent. She's won everything that needs to be won when it comes to tennis. And really, if by some sheer dint of luck, she's able to win
the US Open. Who knows? Maybe
that means her career would have come full circle, because that was the first Grand Slam. Her first Grand Slam came in the US Open. So if she's able to get it now in Flushing Meadows and retire on that, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. But whatever happens, even if she gets knocked out in the first round, Serena's career, you can never doubt Serena's career. Anyway, she didn't say she was retiring. She said she was evolving.
Yes, she said she doesn't want to use the word retirement.
Exactly.
So she preferred to use evolution. She's evolving.
She's evolving away from tennis. Though it's going to be difficult for her to do that, but she has to. I mean, it's sports. Age always catches up with you, no matter.
She's going to be 41 now.
Exactly. But her legacy still remains.
Yeah, for me, I still feel Serena Williams is the biggest female tennis star we've ever had. We talk about Margaret Court, those were the days of before the Opens,
yes.
So I think it was easier then. So she's been consistent when you talk about the female. When you have the female option, the female category, we have people like Rafael Nadal,
Roger Federer,
Djokovic, and all of them. They've been, winning. But she has been the figure, that face of female tennis for a very long time, And she said she wants to have a second baby, and she wouldn't want to do it, during playing professionally. So I'm very sure she will hang. Well, I don't know.
She'll hang up her racket.
Well, good one there. Just like the footballer actually hung their boot, well, Serena Williams already hinting towards hanging the racket of playing tennis. She has done it for herself. Look, checking her career there, you just have to offer a heart for her for what she has done. In fact, she has one more Grand Slam, more than the likes of Roger Federer. Looking at Djokovic, not forgetting Rafael Nadal, 21, 21, 22. But right now, this lady has won 23, trying to go 24. To beat the record of Margaret Court, but right now that particular record she has been running after has been eluding her, and now she's trying to be like, well, let me just get this off my mind. I've actually thought of this too much. Let me play my game and see that at the end of US Open, she will be evolving to another thing in her career. Good one there for Serena. A lady has actually amassed $94 million in career prize money. Congrats to her for what she has done. Now let's talk about the biggest one for tonight, UEFA Super Cup. Between the two teams in Europe, the one that won the UEFA Champions League and the one that won Europa Cup, they will be facing themselves. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Real Madrid at the stadium there in Helsinki, Finland, where the two teams will tackle. They actually face themselves. Well, from the way it is, you want to look at, well, if it's like people say on paper, I don't know if it's on leaf or, or on tablet, but really, you want to give it to Real Madrid, but football doesn't just go that way. So they just have to up their game against Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, when you talk about pedigree, when you talk about name, when you talk about the stars, definitely on paper, just like you said, or on sand, or on
tablet,
or whatever. You really like to give it to Real Madrid, but a lot of people are quick to discount what Frankfurt have done over the years. I mean, like, there's been a gradual evolution when it comes to that, and it was the crowning moment was winning the Europa League last season, and everybody saw that. Frankfurt is it's an evolving team, and they can pull up a surprise. Really, yes, that is not something that we actually expect, because we still do expect, no matter how bad Real Madrid is actually playing or whatever situation they are in, due to their pedigree and the kind of players that they actually have and their manager, they can be able to do something worthwhile. But I think Frankfurt will not be they won't be pushovers. They won't be pushovers. I believe they'll give a good account of themselves.
I'm sure you are stylishly agreeing with what Ibrahim just said.
Not really. I'm seeing a one-way game tonight. Yeah, I'm seeing Real Madrid just having a test match.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Is that how you underrate Eintracht Frankfurt?
It's not that I'm underrating them. You just when you go to the big stage like this, that experience counts. Even when things are not working well for you, you just see what they call the moment of magic. A moment of magic, and a player will just do it, and the job will be done. But they have the players.
You could also be undone by a moment of madness. And it happens. We've seen it happen before.
But consistently, when you look at Real Madrid, especially under Ancelotti, you see that they've been playing, you know, what they say, good football, you know, they've been playing clean. They hardly record red cards and all those stuff. So I believe it's going to be.
Maybe I should actually throw the floor open for the two of you because from
really,
the way it is.
We're actually looking at it from both sides. You understand? Yes, I did agree when you said on paper we give it to Real Madrid. Of course we give it to Real Madrid because of the pedigree, players they have, and of course their manager. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't be quick to discount Eintracht Frankfurt. I believe that Eintracht have something to offer.
For them winning the
Europa League.
They struggled to win against Rangers.
The Europa League.
But they won.
Yes,
exactly. How
Rangers,
many games?
Scottish
Did Real Madrid lose any games last season in the Champions League?
But you saw the way.
But they did lose. And they did play some games whereby they struggled to actually win. So it doesn't really matter how you get there. The Europa League is a very tough league. It's a very tough tournament competition to win. They have more games. They have more.
I don't see that
more
teams.
The
Champions League.
It's not as tough as the Champions League because of the pedigree of the teams that are actually there. That is the thing. But it is a very tough one to win. So for them to win it, they actually deserve some modicum of respect. You should actually put it on their name there because they're there. Other teams are not there. The better teams, the ones that have better pedigree, because they were in the Europa League last season and they didn't make it. They didn't win. They won, and that's why they are playing the Super League tonight.
Barcelona was there.
Exactly,
season.
and they got
kicked out. That's why I opened the floor for the two.
Last season, when you look at the Barcelona team, they were struggling. You know, Messi left. They were trying to adjust to life after Messi. They got some cheap strikers, some cheap players just to fit in, like. Memphis Depay, they have some
Traore, Aubameyang, these guys.
They got them. Aubameyang was later on. They got them.
But it's got some goals for them.
Just to make things, just to patch up.
But no matter who plays,
like you said, Barcelona
is exactly. Barcelona is Barcelona.
But you cannot compare Barcelona with Real Madrid.
They didn't say Barcelona beat
Real Madrid
as at last season.
Yes, as last season. They've been building consistently. Rather, you know. They've added some young, talented players that perform, that do magic for them. And they have the experience of Karim Benzema, who will turn up and give you the goals when you least expected. You have the midfield, Luka Modric, you know, that can just perform that moment of magic and give you the game. You saw what they did against big teams going on to win the Champions League, like Chelsea, like Man City, like PSG. You see what they showed you that look.
Now the same thing you are saying now, I will accrue the same thing to Eintracht Frankfurt, because if you check their journey towards the final, it wasn't an easy journey. You understand? Because nobody even saw that Eintracht Frankfurt, from all the clubs that play Europa Cup or Europa League last season, would be at the final, let alone winning that trophy.
Okay, we'll be here tomorrow to talk about it.
The thing is, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying that Eintracht Frankfurt is going there to blow Real Madrid away and win by 4 or 5 goals, or even by 1 goal. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is we should not be quick to discount them. That is all I'm saying. Because when you say Real Madrid, Eintracht Frankfurt, everybody will like, no, just give it to Real Madrid and everybody should go home and sleep. It doesn't work like that. All I'm saying is do not discount them. And maybe tomorrow we will have a different discussion.
Now, from the way it is, let's look at your score line. From Joshua, what do you think will happen?
I'm not seeing a wide margin.
Mm.
Just maybe like 2-1, 1-0.
In favor of
Real Madrid, of course.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight as well. So I'm going for a solid 2-1 with a very good performance from Frankfurt.
Well, from the way it is,
go down swinging.
Let me use the word Octopus, Joshua and Octopus Ibrahim. They agree on 2-1, and that is going to end very tough one. Well, we wait to see what's going to happen at Helsinki Stadium tonight, where the champions, that's the UEFA Super Cup, will be coming up between Real Madrid, perennial winners. They've done it several times, and they will be facing Eintracht Frankfurt of Germany. It could be a kind of a giant versus dwarf, but let's see who wins this particular game. A tough one there to call. We wait for that particular match to come on tonight. Now, let's quickly run through some transfer stories from Nigeria. Edith Agoye has been with Shooting Stars for 9 years, but right now he has called a quit and he has resigned as the coach of Shooting Stars, what they call 3SC of Ibadan, up team. Right now, their coach is actually has given up. Well, I think something is happening. Something new is bridging here.
Yeah, well, I think it's time for some of these clubs. I think it's time for them to evolve out of what they've actually been doing. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's time for them to evolve out of what they've actually been doing, because he's been there for 9 years, and we've seen how shooting have been. You know, we've talked about how off-shooting was before, and the situation they're in right now. They're not actually the shooting that we used to know, and we wanted to see them get there. So maybe by this evolution, by this manager now getting out of the way and bringing somebody in new, maybe some new ideas, and probably something new might happen for shooting stars.
Edith was almost becoming another Arsene Wenger in shooting stars. 9 good years. It has been a very long time that you actually see Nigerian coaches staying so long, but right now the man has called it quit.
Yeah, just as he said, it is time for teams to look beyond just being in the league. To look at and I think it has to do with the management of our leagues, because at the end of the day you have nothing to gain, or absolutely nothing to gain winning a league. You know, I remember there was a time Canopilla win the NPFL, and the only thing they gave them was the cup, and nothing to attach to it. So
Plateau United that won 2017, 18 or thereabout, they are still clamoring for their money.
Exactly. So you can just imagine. So it's very hard for teams to, especially private individuals, to invest in teams when you know that at the end of the day you are playing for nothing. So that's why you see most of our clubs are owned by the government. It's just government money. Yeah, give it to them. Public service, you know, just for people to enjoy themselves. So we need to involve, just as he said, in terms of franchise sales, in terms of player signing, in terms of coaches, in terms of pattern of play, time of
referees, indemnity, yes.
Yes.
So, good one there. We've been looking at the man that just left shooting star of Ibadan, Edith Agoye, after 9 years as a coach of that club. Now, quickly, we run through Timo Werner joins RB Leipzig from Chelsea in a 4-year deal, 25.6 plus bonuses. He's back to where he used to have his groove.
Yes. You know, I don't know, something is wrong with Chelsea. When it comes to striker signing,
they say that the number 9 jersey is cost.
They have a very long issue.
That's the mentality. Because I saw one post from Lukaku saying, when I came, I wore it. When I left, I came back, I wore it. Same thing happened. So everybody's afraid of that number 9 jersey.
Not even talking about Lukaku. Before Lukaku, we have this guy, this Ukrainian guy. No, before Torres.
Shevchenko was there.
Shevchenko,
yeah.
So it seems striker doesn't shine there.
Torres came, Morata.
But this guy shines now. Costa. Diego Costa.
Yeah, but Diego Costa
did well.
I think he's the last Chelsea number 9 to have said to be that we can say that, okay, fine, this guy has actually done very well. You know, superstition and football, they go hand in hand. There's also superstition in football.
Costa, if Costa would be a kind of a cool-headed person, really, aside his fighting spirit, he has been a fantastic striker for Chelsea. Yeah. But aside him, Shevchenko, Lukaku, mentioned Torres, they didn't pick.
They actually didn't. And I feel bad for Timo. When he came to Chelsea, and we actually thought that, okay, fine, this is the final step in his career, in the development of his career. You understand? Because he had a fantastic season in Leipzig before he came, and then he came to Chelsea with so much high expectations. I think that also contributed, because he was under so much pressure to deliver. Unfortunately, he couldn't. Not because he didn't have the talent. We all know that Timo has abundance of talent, but it just didn't work for him. So I think going back to where he was his best, might be what he actually needs to happen right now.
Let's see if he will be getting his group back since he moves to RB Leipzig again. Timo Werner there. Quickly, the last one before we run out. Just about Manchester United could move for Watford striker Ismail Assar or Atletico's Alvaro Morata. Those are the 2 players they are going after now. After they couldn't get Anatovic, well, Manchester United seems to just, in fact, they should come to Nigeria and get a striker.
I know the issue with Manchester United now is that,
but why are they not going for Emmanuel Dennis? Is it that Sarr is better than Dennis?
Well, I don't know what is wrong with the recruitment when it comes to recruitment in Manchester United. I mean, like, really, Arnautovic?
They're looking for a striker? They back off from Arnautovic.
After the backlash. But because there were talks. There were talks that were held. They actually probed but then there was a backlash. For the
sake of Man United fan, leave Arnautovic or Arnautovic out of it. Let's look at Sarr and Morata.
That was when they decided to go. Well, if they are going for Sarr, maybe they've seen something there, just like they saw in Odion Igalo a couple of years back.
And Sarr is a younger prospect. Maybe a player with energy, you know.
Maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe they're looking beyond this season as somebody that can actually come and develop.
Do you know my opinion now? If they could see Sir, why are they not seeing Dennis?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it depends on what
Seriously.
it depends on what
they
they're looking
want.
for. Somebody's actually talking about why didn't they go for Tammy Abraham, who had a fantastic
Yes.
season last season
Tammy.
with the AS Roma. I mean, like Tammy is actually that.
Is he available?
He's available. He
Of
wants to
course
go.
he's
He wants to leave Chelsea. As of yesterday, he
No.
wants to go on loan.
Tammy.
No,
Abraham?
sorry, Odoi.
Well-
My man has gone to Odoi now. You know, they have almost the same structure. But really, for Tammy Abraham,
not
at least I
available.
enjoy. I want him to enjoy his football.
At the
so.
right price. Every player is available.
Yes.
You
Every
sure?
player is
Anyone can
available
move.
at the right
If
price.
Messi could leave Barcelona, I've not seen any player that cannot
Every
move.
player is
Messi
available
left
at the right price.
I don't know.
But for him to leave Barcelona, there's no player that can
No,
move.
And not forgetting that Tammy is actually English, and you know that there's that draw when it comes to English players and the Premier League. They always want to come home.
Good one.
You understand? So that's one thing.
We just have to go now. Our time is up. We've been a wonderful one with Joshua Adeyemi. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
And also Ibrahim Yusuf. Thank you.
Always nice to
with
be
your
here.
debut, Jesse. Just have to talk about that quickly. We have to move now. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching. Well.